3 years ago, on the 5th of October 2000, these pictures were hitting TV screens everywhere. In a spectacular move, the people of Serbia brought down the Milosevic regime and opened up a new era. On that day, it was not only the parliament that was set on fire, it was also the state television. One of the key demands on the street was media freedom. Today, the Serbian press can breathe more freely, but many media are not happy with the pace of progress. During the Milosevic era, the independent media were the main pillars of the struggle for democracy, fighting the political control over information and the isolation of the country. Media and journalists taking an alternative approach were under constant pressure from the regime. The B92 radio station was closed down as many as 4 times during the 90s, but every time it managed to rise up again. At the height of the dictatorship and isolation, B92 was awarded MTV's Free Your Mind prize, propulsing in the international orbit the story about the struggle for change in the then isolated Serbia. But that's history now, and today's B92 television faces different problems. Veran Matic, the brain behind B92's resistance to the Milosevic regime, thinks that the changes achieved in the past 3 years are disappointing. As far as the media sector is concerned, we are practically on the brink of a tragedy. And not only in Serbia, but in the whole of southeastern Europe. That is particularly visible in Serbia, because of all the countries in Eastern Europe that have been ruled 3 years ago, on the 5th of October 2000, had probably these pictures were hitting TV screens everywhere. In a spectacular move, the people of Serbia brought down the Milosevic regime and opened up a new era. The situation has improved much on that day. It was not only the parliament, Serbia's former alternative media, like B92 television, have problems developing. One of the key demands on the street was media freedom. There's still no legal framework to guarantee more freely. But many media are not happy with the links with political and financial circles. During the Milosevic era, the independent media were the main pillars of the struggle for democracy, fighting the political control over information and the isolation.
The main problem at the moment is also money.
Media and journalists taking an alternative approach were under constant pressure from the regime.
That means that
the B92 radio station was closed down as many as 4 times during the 90s. Even if the government is by now managed to rise up again, large media, especially state broadcasters, are still not free from political influence. At the height of the dictatorship and isolation, the process of granting B92 licenses awarded MTV has become Free Your Mind transparent here, propulsing in the international orbit the story about the struggle for change in the then isolated Serbia.
Independent broadcasters, the composition of broadcasting councils, which are the, let's say, the bodies that are supposed to regulate the media.
Today's B92 television faces one of the key priorities of the Stability Pact's media task force, the brain behind B92's resistance to the Milosevic regime media laws, thinks that the changes achieved in the past 3 years are disappointing. Serbia is not the only country in the region where legal flaws hinder the. As far as the media sector is concerned, we are practically on the brink of a tragedy. The capital of Bulgaria, media face similar, not only in Serbia but in the whole of southeastern Europe. This large building was erected in communist times for the purpose of keeping all the media under one roof, easy to control. The building is still home to several newspapers today. Svetlana Batalova is a reporter of the high-circulation magazine 168 Hours. She's been sued for defamation for the 2nd time. In an article, she exposed corruption in the Ministry of Justice. The corrupt official has been sacked, but he's been suing both Batalova and her magazine for more than a year. Draconian fines, as much as €15,000 for slander, are an effective tool in the hands of those who want to prevent the media shedding light on shady subjects. This is my profession. I chose it myself. I mean, it's not like journalists are some kind of heroes. When a person does his job honestly, he or she has nothing to fear. I take care, like everyone else, of course. But thank God, they haven't yet started shooting journalists in Bulgaria. Svetlana is not an isolated case. In Bulgaria today, No less than 240 journalists have been sued for defamation. This tortuous journey has been going on for a year now. Lawyers, hearings, adjournments. It's tiring, and it costs money too. Nobody can say for sure when it's going to end, and everyone in the magazine is depressed because of this.
Defamation laws are quite strict, often still in the criminal code, which means that defamation is a criminal offense. We think that's not right. I think it would be better to have it in the civil code. But most importantly, there are a lot of cases pending against journalists, and the fines are really high. That means that it's for newspapers or radio stations that do not usually earn a lot of money. A fine of 20,000 euro is enormous and can put them even out of business.
The Stability Pact is giving strong support to local specialist organizations in Bulgaria, but also in Romania and Montenegro, to address the abuse of defamation laws and lobby for legal change. The change is necessary because we think that the decriminalization of slander is inevitable. We think it's a matter of freedom of speech. It's necessary because journalists can't be treated as criminals, according to criminal laws. They should be treated according to civil legislation. Good laws are the first precondition for professional media work. The second is their application in practice. Two vital steps to ensure that journalists can fully play their role as essential watchdogs of the young democracies in southeastern Europe.